Hello! This is Way of Weinstein. Wherever you may be and however you may be watching, live in the financial district of New York City, Facebook Live and YouTube, here to preview tonight's NFL draft. Man, it was a bad season for the Giants, and I'm so excited that it's finally here. I've been waiting for this night for a while, and I'm so excited. Yeah, wow. It's only a half hour away. I'm super pumped. And let me see. Hold on 1 minute. I'm really excited because we're supposed to have a special guest for tonight's episode. Bear with me 1 minute. So I'm really excited for tonight's video, and it looks like our special guest is here. And with no further ado, let's see, is he here? Can't bring him on camera at this time. Okay, like I said, we're having a little bit of a technical difficulty. Okay, hold on. Okay, so difficulty. Yeah, so I was gonna have one of my friends from Cleveland. Let's see if he can shape this out. So I was gonna have him go first with his mock draft. But since there's some technical difficulty, I'm just gonna go first with my mock draft. Okay, so my mock draft. So I don't buy into the whole Baker Mayfield going one. I just don't see that happening. I don't see the Browns being. Let's do it. I mean, he ran from a police officer. I mean, I just can't see that. And then number two. Okay, so with the Browns, since they're not going with Mayfield, I got them going Sam Darnold. If that wasn't obvious, Sam Darnold, number one. Number two, I got my Giants going Saquon Barkley, running back out of Penn State. They're clear. They are committed to Eli. Wearing this, I would not be opposed to taking a quarterback, but that's just what I feel that the Giants are doing. Number three, I got the Jets taking Chosen Rosen from UCLA, the quarterback. Maybe this will be the quarterback to win him a Super Bowl. First time in 50 years. Number four, I got the Browns taking the best defensive player in this draft. I got them taking Bradley Chubb. And for Way of Weinstein. Okay, let's see. Yay!
Hey, sorry about that.
Right.
Yeah, I just switched from my Mac to an iPad, so there we go. It works. Hey!
Fantastic.
Hey.
All right, so...
Yeah, hey.
All right,
I heard what you said. I want it to be Darnold. I don't think it's going to be. I don't hate Baker, but it's going to be Baker.
Really? Why do you think that?
Well, a couple things. Number one, John Dorsey's kept everything close to the vest, but apparently he told Hugh Jackson 2 days ago, and Hugh Jackson leaks everything. So the Baker stuff didn't start till 2 days ago. I kind of have a top three. There's basically Darnold's one. Darnold should be the pick. I don't think he's going to be the pick. Number two is Rosen, who the Browns are weirdly not linked to. It never really made a ton of sense to me why not, and three's Baker. And then after that, there's a giant drop-off. I like Baker. My main concern about Baker is that I think he needs the right system, and I don't trust Hugh to do that. But I agree. I mean, like, in theory, I want it to be Darnold, but I think it'll be Baker. If it was up to me, it'd be Darnold, but I think it'll be Baker. I agree with you on four. I think there's a 50% chance they trade down, but I agree with you on 4. They should take Chubb.
Okay, I could definitely see. Okay, so let me go the rest, and we'll get your mock
Yeah,
draft and what to look for.
sure.
So number 5, I got the Broncos taking Quentin Nelson from Notre Dame. Case Keenum needs all the help he can get with that line. 6, I got Denzel Ward going to the Colts. 7, Fitzpatrick going to the Bucks. 8, now this is where I think a lot of people don't have this. I got Mike McGlinchey going to the Bears just to protect Trubisky as much as protection as possible.
That makes some sense.
9, let's give Jimmy G a brand new toy in the form of Calvin Ridley.
Seems a little high, but okay.
And 10, Roquan Smith going to the Raiders. And then just because we want to touch on Mayfield and Allen, I got Mayfield going 11 to the Dolphins, which his party attitude in Miami, that could be deadly. And then Allen going 12 to the Bills. I mean, Wyoming's cold weather. Buffalo's not exactly Miami. So that's my mock. What do you got, Ethan?
Well, okay. First and foremost, do you not think the Bills are trading up? Because I think the Bills are going to trade up.
I think it depends. I feel that if Darnold doesn't go 1, I think that they could offer the Giants their first 2 picks this year, a second-round pick in next year's first. If they offer the Giants that, I think that could get it.
I think they'll offer the Browns that at 4. So I'm going to go with what I think it's going to be. If it was up to me, once again, I'd take Darnold. 1, Mayfield, I think, is going to go 1. I think the buzz is real. Baker, I think, can work. I think Baker's ceiling is Breeze. If he's like his like ceiling's Breeze, just the floor scares me and the lack of imagination of their offense. Though adding Todd Haley doesn't hurt. 2's tough. If we go Baker, do you think you go Darnold?
I've been debating that all day. I think it's probably still 60-40 Saquon, but I still think there's a very good chance at Darnold, just because I personally went to a USC game this year with Feld and Resnick when I was out in LA. First time when I was in LA, that stadium sit down, drops a dime of a touchdown. Now, my biggest thing with Darnold, he makes a lot of wow throws, but a lot of times you watch him, he'll miss like a lot of routine throws.
Yeah. I mean, you see the upside. Like him throwing on the move is amazing. You see the upside. His turnovers are obviously the one big concern with him. I think if we go Baker 1, you probably should go Darnold 2. I'm going to say, though, you go Saquon.
Okay.
3, then I say Darnold goes to the Jets, and the Jets get the steal of the draft at 3.
True.
Then 4. I mean, it's Chubb or a trade. It's Chubb or the Bills offer you 12, 22, a first next year and a second this year, and then the Browns probably move back up in the first with all that ammo. I say, as of right now, we stay there and we take Chubb. Now, 5 is the Broncos. I hate Josh Allen. I think he's going to suck. I don't think he's good. His tape isn't good. Versus Power 5 schools, he's bad. Like when he played Power 5 schools, he had a completion percentage of 50%, 1 touchdown, and 8 picks. That's awful. 56% completion percentage shows he's not accurate. The number that terrifies me is at or behind the line of scrimmage, he was still below 60%. That means he's missing screens. That means he's just not accurate. So, all that said, I think Elway overlooks all that and kind of sees himself in there and takes him. I mean, like, they're going to build around Paxton Lynch. So I say not Darnold. I say Allen goes there. The Colts are interesting. The Colts are another trade target. If they don't, I mean, like, you have to eventually protect Andrew Luck. The best lineman in this draft is a guard, but I think Nelson goes there. Tampa's interesting. They have a lot of holes. They fixed their front a little bit, but their secondary is interesting. I really like Derwin James. I think he's a versatile player. Him and Minka have kind of gone back and forth on. I think Minka's more in the box guy, and I think Tampa wants to fix their pass defense more, and so I think they go Derwin. The Bears was a little interesting. I like your idea of picking McGlinchey, whatever his name is, McGlinchey, because he's a good player. He's a solid tackle. I just don't think the tackles in this draft are that good. I think he falls a little. Their defense isn't that great. Roquan Smith is a really nice player. I like him, especially in the passing game. I love versatile linebackers that can move and make plays. The Niners are another interesting one. Obviously, they addressed quarterback already. Their defensive front's really good. Their back end isn't good. They're going to take a guy who I think is going to fall too much, who I would consider at 4 if Chubb's not there. They're going to take Denzel Ward. The Raiders are next. Their defense is terrible. Minka's the best player on the board. They should take Minka. Saban called him the best safety he's ever had, so that's a pretty good endorsement. I agree with you, but I agree with you. The Dolphins will probably take quarterback, but I think it's going to be Rosen. I think he's going to be the perfect fit down there. He's 10.
Oh.
And then if the Bills don't trade up, they're out of court. There's no quarterbacks left. Maybe they reach for Lamar at that point.
See, here's the thing with Lamar is that, but I feel like if he maybe would have come out a year ago, I mean, like, he won the Heisman, 2 years ago?
He had better passing numbers this season than he did last year. When you look at his completion percentage, his yards, he was a better thrower this year.
I don't know. It's just that he's someone that doesn't really, like, pop as well, like how Deshaun popped for me just seeing him do that against Saban. I didn't have that same feeling of that wonderment.
He didn't really have any wow. He didn't have any wow games this year. His wow game last year was in a loss to Clemson. He wowed that game, but I like him better than Allen. I don't get Allen hype.
Yeah, neither do I. I mean, I get he can. Here's the thing: like he can throw the ball 8 yards, but what good is throwing a ball? It's like Rick Ankiel. You remember that pitcher who was
exactly. Well, or like it's like remember when Chapman first got up? Eventually, he became a really good closer, but wasn't throwing strikes. And was like he hit one away. It's like it was a ball. Who cares? Like everyone's like, look, he can throw the ball 80 yards. Like, you do that once a season, if that's like everyone loved.
Right, like for Hail Marys.
Exactly. Everyone loved that Jamarcus could throw the ball from his 20 to the end zone on his knees. It's like, okay, but when is Jamarcus throwing from his knees? Like there's like like the completion percentage is a big thing. It's weird people are trying to get past it. I don't get.
Yeah. So one thing that I heard on some New York sports radio is that they were comparing Baker Mayfield to Allen. They were saying that Mayfield threw a lot more screens than Allen. That's why he was saying his completion percentage was a lot higher.
Not true. But when you look at the numbers, Mayfield's attempted yards per throw and adjusted yards attempted per throw were about 11 and 12 yards per pass. Darnold's were about 6. Like there's this narrative that no, not Darnold, Allen's were about 6 per play. Like there's this narrative that like Allen's in this like amazing NFL offense. He's taking all these shots, but like it's not that true. Mayfield on throws 20 yards down the field with 60% on 20 yards down the field. That just shows like the completion percentage matters. It does. It's weird they overlook this.
Yeah, very, very important to actually throw the ball at someone.
Exactly. See, today's NFL, the passing game is really focused 8 to 15 yards. If you're great in there, you're going to be really good. Mayfield's really good in there, and Darnold and Rosen are extremely good in there. That's why I think all of them have high ceilings. So it just doesn't. I get that you see him throw the ball and it zooms out of his hand. I get that he looks great in shorts. I just can't get over the fact that you don't play football in shorts. And when combine numbers, I think matter more for edge players and receivers. Look at those. Those are important. For quarterbacks, it's if there's a pass rush coming at you, can you hit that guy? That's just important.
Yeah. And the question is, who's going to make that big trade up, and what's going to be that moment? Because I feel like last year when I didn't get why the Bears trade up one spot to get Trubisky, which the Niners weren't going to take him, and they traded all that to move up, and everyone's like, "What the?"
Yeah, that made no sense. I thought Mitch was going to fall to 12. He was fine last year. But obviously the Bills are the big candidates. And a couple guys that are quarterback needy a little bit further down. Arizona is an interesting candidate for a trade up. I'm trying to think what other quarterback needy teams there are. Arizona, obviously.
Nope.
New England will be interesting. The Patriots.
I was just going to say that.
They brought one quarterback in, and it was Lamar. That'd be very Belichicky to draft Lamar.
What are the odds you think that the Patriots would trade up to the top four and get
Oh, well,
like a Donald or Rosen?
I mean, well, I just don't. They have some ammo. I just don't know if they have how much ammo they have because part of the reason that I think the Bills are an attractive trade candidate is because they're going to give them a first next year, and I think their two quarterbacks are going to be maybe Josh Allen and AJ McCarron, and I want the first round pick of a team whose two quarterbacks are Josh Allen and AJ McCarron. So I mean, but like because the Patriots they can give up their two first this year, and then their first next year. But like the first next year, it's gonna be like the third last, second last, or last pick. They're gonna go to the AFC title game or the Super Bowl. So it's not
Right.
it's basically like trading for like a early second rounder. So that's the. So I don't know if they have the ammo to get up that high. That's my only. If one of them falls, the Allen stuff's. I mean, he could maybe fall. I don't think Belichick would love a guy like him. He had some weird news break today about he's apparently racist tweets, which is not good.
Yeah, and like one of them. So one of them allegedly. I don't know if do you watch Modern Family?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them. Yeah, I've seen a decent amount of them.
Okay, so I looked up so one of them apparently said was from Modern Family, and I watched Modern Family. So at first I kind of got the reference. It was where he's saying, to quote his Twitter saying, "If it's not white, it's not right." Which I looked up the Modern Family clip, and it was when Phil and Claire were doing color wars. You know, like in camp, they have like red, white. So and he was on the color white team, not referring to any races, but just referring like to the actual color white.
Yeah.
And he was wearing a shirt that said that. And then Claire was saying, "You can't say that." And then they had a black cab driver, and he threw the luggage, and it was like. The whole joke is that Phil is that oblivious.
Yeah. Oh
but,
no. I mean, like, look, some of it. I mean, like, it's shitty timing. I mean, like, but just lesson everyone out there: don't tweet the N-word. Just don't. Just never tweet the N-word. It's an easy lesson. It's like someone like wrote an article today, like, hey, if you're going to the NFL, delete your social media. It's like, no, just don't tweet the N-word. That's easy. Well,
right.
Like,
it's literally, yeah. The last word you want to tweet is that.
It doesn't matter if it ends in an A. It doesn't matter if it's a rap lyric. When you're rapping, don't say it. When you're tweeting, don't tweet it. If there are any kids watching, easy life lesson. Don't say, tweet, write anything with the N word ever. That's easy. Cool. End of lesson for children watching this Facebook. So you might fall a little because of it, but I don't know how much it affects it. But we've been on him like a lot, but I mean, like as I said, I don't really get the hype. Okay, so here, let's go back to you guys for a second. So you said you think it's 60% you take Saquon.
Right, and I think it's 60% Saquon if Darnold doesn't go one. Okay. If Darnold does go one, I think it's 80% Saquon. The person who I think that they could take, even if Darnold does go one, is potentially Bradley Chubb.
Yeah, that's my big fear.
But here's the thing about Chubb. I mean, when the Giants beat the Patriots without having to have one of their best defensive players benched, still angers me that the Eagles won the Super Bowl, but the Giants are the only team to do it twice.
Okay.
So you look at that pass rush of Tuck, Strahan, Umanora, JPP. I mean, it was lethal. So
yeah, and then when they won their next one too, they had a really good pass rush as well.
Right.
And Gettleman loves edge rushers, so that's my one fear. The thing with Saquon is I love the depth of this running back class, like in the second round. That's why if he's there at 4, and Chubb is on the board too. Like let's say you guys go quarterback, I'd rather take Chubb and address we have 33 and 35. Like there's gonna be like a Geist could fall, Sony Michel could fall, Ronald Jones, Darnold's running back from college is really good.
Yeah.
I really like Kerryon Johnson. The Browns might target him like towards the end of the second. I like him a lot. Royce Freeman's an interesting guy in the third. This is a deep running back class. I get Saquon could be special. I just don't value running backs that high in the draft. Like remember Zeke got taken obviously 4.
Yeah.
Who went? Remember went 5?
Wait, who went? Was that Jalen Ramsey?
It was Jalen Ramsey, exactly.
Okay.
You give the Cowboys a time machine, they take Jalen Ramsey. You know why? Because the guy who was second in the league that year was Jordan Howard. Second in the league in rushing that year was another rookie, Jordan Howard, who went in the 6th round. If you can get a guy like Jordan Howard late, like is the extra 100 yards Zeke got the whole year worth missing out on Jalen Ramsey?
True. I mean, although hindsight's 2020.
Oh
I mean,
no,
no
of
one
course.
knew who Jordan Howard was. I mean, granted, I remember everyone saying Jalen Ramsey's a transcendent talent, and
What?
just look at him against the Steelers. I mean, even though they let up all those points, he was just a huge impact
He
player.
basically shut
Like,
down Antonio. Like Antonio
yeah,
long catches because he's Antonio, but no,
right. Except for like those couple like blown
he's
coverages,
special.
which really weren't Jalen's
I
fault.
saw him in person in Cleveland, and it was like 20 degrees. And I mean, like the Browns receivers suck, so but like no one ever got open on him. He's super special. So I mean, like that's my thing with Saquon is just the value of running back in today's NFL.
The thing with Saquon is that he's such a complete back. How he can run. He's got the speed. He's got the power. He can block, and it's like that's the what I think that the Giants are going to end up with Saquon because I think he's the most talented player, and I just don't see the Giants taking a quarterback unless Gettleman's got the ultimate smokescreen where like leading everyone to believe they're not taking a quarterback. Then ha ha, Darnold or Rosen.
Well, I mean, because you guys are trying to compete this year. Like the Browns could justify taking quarterback and never playing him because we are going to win 4 games, and we know we're going to win 4 games. I mean, Tyrod's fine, but we're going to win 4 games. So I mean, it's so we can kind of justify that. I think you guys are maybe trying to compete, which is like the hard part for you because you want.
True, because you still got the Eagles and you got the Cowboys in the division, and the Redskins with Alex Smith. They should. I'm guessing they'll probably be at bare minimum an 8-win team.
Yeah, I mean, like they're weird. I like Cousins. I think Cousins got a little overpaid. I don't know what to think of Washington. Their run defense sucks. I think they may go like Vita Vea, the tackle from Washington, or maybe Payne from Alabama. But I mean, your division's a toss-up. Like the Browns know that we are going to finish maybe third, probably fourth in our division. Pittsburgh's gonna beat us twice and win 11 games. That's gonna happen.
Yeah. So let's see. So we got the number one pick happening in around 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're gonna join us again to see like what the Browns actually did. So I'm excited for that. Like at the top of the hour.
Yeah. If it's Allen, I'm gonna join you in tears.
All right. So again,
I don't think it will be, but if it's Baker, I'm gonna be confused, intrigued, and excited. I don't know what to think. It's weird.
all right, so all those who watch this preview, make sure to be here right after the first pick to hear Ethan's reaction. Ethan, sorry about the technical difficulty.
My bad. We just switched users, so we're all good.
All right, we're all good. So join us right after the first pick. Ethan's going to join us back. We're going to have his reaction, and I'm going to be here probably till around 9 o'clock tonight. Again, Stick it here. Way of Weinstein. We'll be right back. Ethan, see you shortly.
See you, Weinstein. Thanks, man.